Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? It is the recap lunch hour with me, Guff, Ryan McGuffey. Hump day. It's sunny out. It's cold. Man, listen to this. I don't know why it's breaking news to me, but it's 2 weeks from Christmas, which I'm having that's insane to me. 2 weeks from today is Christmas. Hope you're enjoying the holiday season, spending it with people you love. And, it's always a great time of year. And I just want to start off this show by saying, and hopefully a couple of these guys are on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did Garrett Crochet just get traded? Is that a true story? Is Justin breaking news? Because I literally just came on. Is Garrett Crochet to Boston? That's who I originally. That's it. The Red Sox on the source are on the verge of acquiring Garrett Crochet. In the least bit of surprise, it looks like Kyle Teal. First off, Justin, thank you. Okay. Justin is saying that he has been traded to Boston, that Kyle Teal is listed in the return so far. And none of the other big name prospects. Okay. First off, we got to do a little bit of. I was going to start with a thank you to everybody. We are completely hitting the reset button here with a breaking news. Let's see, MLB tab. Okay, so let's get into this. Let me build a font here. Let me build a font that says what we need it to say. Breaking. Okay, this is awesome. Justin, way to go, man. White Sox breaking. We have a report that the White Sox have traded Garrett on the final day of the winter meetings. I was just saying how it's all is quiet on the Western Front. We have a report out there that the White Sox have traded Garrett Crochet to the Boston Red Sox. That is from Julian McWilliams. He is the Red Sox beat writer for the Boston Globe. So if it's coming from those type of people, folks, that's those aren't rumors. Okay, those aren't rumors. Let's break it down real quick. The report is that Kyle Teal is in the deal. A left-hand hitting catcher. I don't get it, to be honest with you. He's ranked 25th in all of baseball. So if that's the case, which he is, he's also will be ready to go in 2025. He's a 22-year-old hitting catcher. He's the 25th overall prospect in baseball. If that's the case, I will win my bet with Cap, which is that we get a top 34. What would be very disappointing for that. Yeah, I love what Tommy Waddle had to say to Cap and Jay Hood today. Truly annoyed by his old franchise. We'll talk about Waddle here in a second. I agree, man. Better get a windfall for Crochet. This ain't it to me. I need to see more in the deal. This is just coming down as here. Yep. Jeff Passan is now reporting it. It's a 4-player deal. The White Sox will be receiving 4 prospects from the Boston Red Sox, all of whom are highly regarded. It's a big return for Chicago, but for a pitcher like Crochet, that's the price to pay. All right, let's break it down. White Sox, it is official. The White Sox have traded Garrett Crochet for 4 prospects to the Boston Red Sox. Let's get your thoughts on it. Crochet, with the way the price of pitching has been going at the winter meetings, a $218 million deal for Max Fried to go to the Yankees. I've been saying all along, who in the NL or AL East is going to step up and be desperate? The Red Sox or the Orioles? I texted a friend earlier. He asked me, name your top 3 teams. Name your top 3 teams. I said Red Sox were 1. Baltimore was 2. I actually listed the Cubs as 3. But let's listen. Let's break down this return for the White Sox. Sorry, I might seem a little flustered here, but I'm just trying to get all the information right, folks. And that information is, once again, the 4 prospects coming in. Let's see here. 4 prospects. I'm trying to get you the names. Our guy, Daryl Van Schouwen, has them. Here we go. Boston Red Sox. Oh, boy. Kyle Teal is in the deal. He's the catcher, 25th overall prospect to the White Sox. And let me bring up the Boston Red Sox. Okay, here's who's in the deal. Braden Montgomery, an outfielder, 21 years old, switch hitting. He's their 5th rated prospect overall. Winkleman is also in the deal. He comes down here. Where is he at? I'll bring him up in a second. And Gonzalez coming to the White Sox. Gonzalez is Winkleman Gonzalez. Okay, that's Vince Gowan said Gonzalez and Winkleman. Well, Winkleman Gonzalez is an actual one guy. Is one guy. He's a right-handed throwing pitcher, 6 foot, 167. Let's look at the 2 key cogs of this deal, which are Kyle Teal. He was in AAA this year. He hit 288 with a 386 OPS or 386 on base percentage and OPS of 819. Had 13 homers, 78 RBI, 68 walks, 23 doubles. Definitely like to see that. And the one thing that's you have Edgar Caro now. So you have Edgar Caro. The White Sox have Edgar Caro, who is the, I believe, 50-something overall prospect in baseball. Edgar Caro, coming down here, is the 59th overall prospect in baseball. Now they have the 25th. So the White Sox have 2 of the top catching prospects in all of baseball. Not opposed to it. Astros, I haven't seen Teal play. Could be the catcher for the next 8 years. Let's get this right. You have to get this right. There's no other... Atomic Burrito. So, here's the deal, man. We all want, the Red Sox had 2 of the top 10 prospects in baseball. You weren't getting one or both, I don't think, unless it was a guy that you had a resume for. This guy, to get a top 25 prospect in all of baseball, you got to have a dude. Garrett Crochet is a dude. And with 2 years of control, very cheap if you look at the market right now. So we have all kinds of stuff going on here. Names are still coming in. It's not official. Of course, teams have to. Here we go. Ken Rosenthal's got it for us. Kyle Teal, Braden Montgomery, infielder Chase Madroth. I need to look that name up because he's also ranked high. He is here. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom here to see where the Red Sox. So Franklin Arias, they did not get the Red Sox. So top 100 wise, they got one guy. And some people are going to be mad. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They got 2. Braden Montgomery is the 54th overall prospect. The White Sox got 2 of the top 54 overall prospects in baseball. I know who made the comment. Atomic Burrito, you made the comment. Dude, to get 2 of the top 54 in baseball is a haul. I know it sucks. How do you know it's a mediocre return? How do we know? This is where it gets fun. We don't know if it's a mediocre return. 2 for the top 50 prospects in baseball, man. 2 of the top 50 prospects in baseball. Justin's a huge fan of it. He's happy. He really likes it. Moves are being made. What are the Cubs going to do? Right now, Phil, we're talking about this move right here. It's the biggest move in all of baseball. White Sox acquiring Garrett Crochet from the Red Sox for catcher Kyle Teal. Outfielder Braden Montgomery. I like Montgomery a lot. Infielder Chase Madroth. Please tell me, let me know if I'm saying that wrong. And right-handed pitcher Winkleman Gonzalez. So I'm pretty sure that's a good return if you look at it. Why is the catcher a headliner? First off, you can never have too many catchers because literally, how many good hitting catchers are there? Hopefully they have 2. And the likelihood of keeping one at one spot, we'll see. Let me give you the scouting report on Kyle Teal. And we're going to have to get somebody on to discuss this on a White Sox podcast. That's going to happen now as well. Kyle Teal, one of the top high school hitting prospects in the 2020 class. He focused on too much power as a sophomore. Quicker and more athletic than most catchers. Presently has average speed, but will lose quickness as he spends more time behind the plate. Plus arm strength, impressive accuracy. Threw out 38% of base stealers during his junior season. That's all the scout. That's the scouting report on him. All right. Stats wise, dude, just a dude. And let's see here. Yeah. So the Red Sox are super high on Kyle Teal, as they should be. I mean, look, the dude's a 25th overall prospect in baseball. And when you look here, like when we were looking at Cubs returns, Matt Shaw is the 22nd overall prospect. And this is where, we don't know how prospects are going to pan out. And I say it all the time, trade your prospects. But you have Edgar Caro, who had a really good year in double and AAA. Landon says, sounds like a solid return. How much faith do you have that this Teal kid doesn't turn into another Moncada? Well, first off, 2 different types of players. two different types of backgrounds. Don't reward Teal with a big contract before he steps on the major league field. I think the Sox can learn from that. Terry says this too. If you got two stud catchers, you can always trade one. Pablo, I'm excited, hoping they get it right this time. Real quick, Pablo was one of a few people that came up to me last night, man. Dude, it was very touching. Pablo, I appreciate it. I wish we got to spend more time together. For those of you who came out last night in Aurora, I'll get to you in a little bit. But Pablo certainly comes to mind when I think about it. Astros look solid. He has to get it right, not gout it right. Hopefully he doesn't have gout. You know, that's bad too. Feel like Crochet will be just like the Sale trade. It will look even at first, but then Crochet will win 18 games for them, and it'll look bad for the White Sox. First off, you can't judge this trade for the White Sox for a few years. I know that sucks, but you can't judge it for a few years. And Crochet might win 18 games next year for the Red Sox. He might win a World Series for the White Sox or for the Red Sox. They had to trade him. You weren't going to, for those who wanted to keep him, they had to trade him. There was no scenario. Eli says this is one of the best trades Chris made. Well, let's hope so. It has to be the best trade. The Red Sox weren't interested in moving Marcelo Meyer, the shortstop. I mean, they're thinking of their shortstop for the future as well. I look. People wanted Mayer. They wanted Campbell. You step down a few other spots. If you get one of those guys, you probably don't get two in the top 100. Like, that's the way you got to look at this. We'll get to any upcoming. Not yet, Landon. We'll let you know. People are so negative because that's where we are. Like right now, we've been through this before, and there's been only reason to be negative. So the skepticism, I understand the skepticism. It should be there, but this is a pretty good haul. And when you're looking, the only way you can judge this is like in haul based off of what people are saying. And everyone seems to be thinking, I mean, I'm looking at here, all the big people. And Sylvie's saying it's sad you got to trade him. Well, of course, the idea is sad, but like you had to trade him because of ships in the night. Some people think they're not convinced in Edgar Carroll. I don't necessarily agree with that. Gerald, it's official. Like people are coming closer. Yep. John Morosi is confirming. I keep Kyle Teal is in fact in the deal. I'm just going through here, folks, and just making sure all of this is true. Yep. So we'll see. We'll have to get some background on some of these guys and see. Clyde, I'm at work right now and still chatting with you, Guff. Do you think our White Sox fan gets better bats? Well, they just traded for a couple. They just traded for a catcher who's 22 years old, Kyle Teal. He's expected to make his major league debut in 2025. I love the fact that he's a left-handed hitter. Okay. Then you jump down. This could be the prize of the deal. We don't know. He's 21 years old. Braden Montgomery is in the deal. He's an outfielder, 21-year-old outfielder. He has a 60 power and a 70 arm. For those who don't know the scale, how guys are scouted, 80 is a 10, basically. 80 is the best you can be. He has a 70 arm and a 60 power. I mean, yes, please. He was considered one of the best two-way prospects in the 2021 draft. And he had 35 homers in 2 years at Stanford. I mean, average speed, but plus arm strength. He fits best in right field. Oh, my God, they haven't had one. Holy hell. Lack of control. Okay, so he was a pitcher at some point. Most of these guys were, and we know that. I'm looking up some of Braden Montgomery's stats here. It's trying to pull some of this stuff up on the fly while I'm doing a show. Not always the easiest, but that's how we do this, warts and all, folks. Warts and he came from Stanford. I'm bringing up his college stats right now. 21 years old from Des Moines, Iowa. All right, so he spent last year at Texas A&M. Okay. In the SEC. He also pitched, which is something. We don't need a two-way player, not unless it's Ohtani. But looking at his stats in college in 2024 at Texas A&M, 322, 454, 733 slug, an OPS of 1187. He had 27 homers and 85 ribbies, 76 hits, 42 of which were extra bases, 14 doubles, a triple, 85 RBI on 76 hits. Dude, let's go. We don't know, Justin. We think so. I'm ecstatic they got 2 of the top 54 in baseball. Cap owes me lunch. We won another bet there. TSI Mike, 58 people in here and only 9 hit that like button. Let's go. TSI Mike, a friend of the program. Big fan. Good to see him last night. Terry, I agree with what this is. I definitely agree with this, Terry. This is a really good analysis, my friend. It's a good trade, but it's sad that both Major League Baseball teams in Chicago have to behave like mid to small market teams. The White Sox, they pretty much operate like that period with their payroll, never having a $100 million. But this, to me, I've been saying all along on the White Sox recap podcast to Brian Anderson. I want to bet with BA too, by the way, because he said that Luis Robert would be first to be traded, and he was wrong. So I've won 2 bets in this trade, but it is too bad. But the White Sox had to make this move. The White Sox had to trade Garrett Crochet. They had to do it. Is the negativity about the deal because of the Sox awful 2024? Is it an influence of the current awful state of affairs? It's probably a little bit of both. It's also taking the idea that we have a stud pitcher in Chicago and he's out and he's gone. But again, ships in the night, man. This is ships in the night. And the White Sox also just made a pick in the Rule 5 draft. They had the number 1 pick there. Shane Smith from the Milwaukee Brewers, a right-handed pitcher. He has to stay on the 26th man in order for the White Sox to keep him. Chuck Garfien confirming the deal. This is looking like a pretty good return for the White Sox. I want to see what guys across the industry say, but Keith Law had him in their top 60 midseason. Cannot wait to see the return for Crochet. But Boston, folks, keeps their top 2 prospects and gets Garrett Crochet. So, one of the big things people are saying here, medicals need to be confirmed. I'm still just looking. One of the big things is, can the White Sox develop this talent? That's the key. Christian, great trade by Getz, all bets aside, because he didn't build a projected roster. He just went and got the best prospects he could. You know what, Christian? Comment of the day so far. If you have a stud third baseman, you get another stud third baseman, you get the stud third baseman. If you have a catcher, which, by the way, we have never seen him at the big league level. If you got a good catcher and you go get a guy that's ranked higher than him, go get better at the position, man. Go get better. I'm with you. That's a good one. On the Cubs side, Kyle Tucker it's interesting. The Kyle Tucker thing seems to be picking up steam. Like, those are big talks as the meetings come to a close here. It feels like that's momentum building for Kyle Tucker to be gone. I don't think Paredes, everybody thinks he's just locked in and loaded at the third base. I said I would have traded him and signed Willie Adames to kick off the offseason, but the Cubs weren't going to add that kind of deal anyway. What do you think about Caro and Teal, Guff? That was from you. We're having Facebook issues, it looks like, from the YouTube side of things today. So thankfully you're watching us on YouTube and not Facebook, because Facebook is having all kinds of errors. Wayne, our pitchers weren't that bad, especially the starters. We need hitters and guys that can catch the ball. Amen. That's why I said from the start, and that's why Chris Getz even said publicly, the White Sox are going to trade Garrett Crochet for position players. They haven't had a right fielder since who? Jermaine Dye? I mean, I'm being honest. They have not had a right fielder in a decade, 15 years. Maybe, just maybe, in 2 years they have one. I know people are going, what do you mean you have to wait 2 years? That's part of it. Why waste these guys now? This year's going to suck. You're going to be developing guys, and you're going to be using years of control. If you can get a year in double or triple A and get these guys going and bring up Braden Montgomery when he's 23 years old and ready to start, I'm all in. B minor, good move. Teal's a big leader, but we don't need a catcher. Why? Montgomery will be a stud, though. He was going to draft him. Thought we was going to draft him, but we picked Hagen Smith. Well, then that's a good problem to have, because now you got both. I think I think Montgomery went 12th in the draft. Let me see. First round. Yeah. He was the 12th pick overall in this year's draft. So to give people now, don't get freaked out by that. He's a college player, so he's 21. He's not older, or he's not younger. I mean, he is a stud, but I don't understand. We don't need a catcher. We do. Don't just get your set high that, like, these guys, Edgar Carroll, he's the guy. We think Avi Garcia, Astros chair, coming in with a okay, yeah, like he had an all-star year, won close to a batting title, but like a little punch and Judy. But okay, fine. I'll give you that. We haven't had a right fielder since Avi Garcia. That's over 10 years ago. Exactly. We've seen exactly. These two teams have met up before. The Chris Sale trade made sense. It just didn't work out with what we got from Moncada and Kopech. It didn't work out here. What does it mean for Corey Lee? Are we staying with Brian Ramos at third? I think Corey Lee is your starting catcher on opening day. That's what I think. And then from there, we'll see what happens. I do. Corey Lee is not part of the long-term future of this team. He's part of what is right now. He's a bridge. That's who Corey Lee is. Tucker would be a Cubs rental for a year. Unless the Cubs want to extend him, I don't think he's a guaranteed rental, but fine. Then if you can upgrade for a year and try to win this year, fine. I don't have a problem. Look at the Yankees had Juan Soto for a year. They got to the World Series. They didn't win it, but they got there. Now he's gone. So I don't have a problem trading for studs for 1 year. I'm not saying Tucker is Juan Soto, but I think he did have a higher OPS. I know he played lesser games, so stud. I'm all for trading for studs. So here's if you're just joining us, the big report or the big news right as we came on, literally the second we came on, our guy Justin kind of broke it here to me. Right as we came on, Garrett Crochet traded to the Red Sox for 4 prospects: Teo Montgomery, Madroth Gonzalez, the 4th, 25th overall, 5th, 54th overall, 11th and 14th prospects in the Red Sox system. The Red Sox just got a hell of a lot better. I can tell you that right now. Big price to pay. Here's from a Red Sox writer. Steep price to pay for a Crochet, and one can argue they should have just used the money on a free agent. But hard to complain about the Red Sox acquiring a 25-year-old ace with absolutely dominating stuff. His upside is higher than Fried or Corbin Burns. So they're telling you, higher upside, big price to pay, but that's the price of doing business in this market. So I'm learning the info on the fly here, folks, like you guys are, but I'm bringing it to you. I think that's when you start seeing Red Sox people say, like, these dudes are dudes, that's when I start to go, okay, like let's talk about this trade a little more. Russell Dorsey, friend of the program, Yahoo Sports national writer. Done deal. The Red Sox get their impact arm to be at the top of the rotation. The White Sox receive a significant haul for their rebuild. Love the word haul. And the problem is we don't love the word rebuild. I mean, but that's where they are. And at least they're admitting it. And here, Bob Nightingale adding this nugget. White Sox are thrilled with the return, and the Red Sox enhanced their offer at just about 10:30 a.m., literally at the conclusion, right before the Rule 5 draft began, to finalize the deal. So this is what happens at these winter meetings. You talk. At some point, Chris Sale pushes back and says, we're not doing this unless you include boom and boom. And the Red Sox push back. They both go their separate ways. You wake up in the morning and you're like, man, that hangover stings, and we don't have the deal. Oh, another rush hour or lunch hour sneeze. And we don't have the deal. Then you go back to Chris Getz and go, all right, man, I drank a bottle of wine last night and I still didn't get the player I want. Let's make this deal. Let's go home to Boston and be ready to go. And that's what's exactly happening. The Red Sox are going back, which I think is funny. The White Sox have just officially announced that Mike Tauchman's 1-year deal is official, which is pretty hilarious because of all the stuff going on right now. Heyman saying the Cubs are strong possibility for Kyle Tucker. I'm one of those people that likes to here's where I'm at on this trade. I like the return, but I don't know. Like, I'm skeptical. Always going to be skeptical because of what we just went through. I need to see these guys produce for the Chicago White Sox. 2 of these guys have to produce. I think one of them's got to be an all-star. Yeah, Adrian, you're just joining us. The White Sox got the 25th and 54th overall prospect in baseball. And they got the 11th and 14th. So they got the 4th, 5th, 11th, and 14th overall prospect from the Boston Red Sox. Kyle Teal is the highly regarded catcher. He's ranked 25th. Braden Montgomery, who just went 12th in the draft, just a power right fielder. Stud arm, stud bat. He is a college bat, but struck out 59 times, walked 53. I mean, I don't know. That usually gets a little different. There's some separation in there at the pro levels. We'll see that. Oh, yeah. Good note, minor. I should have said switch hitter for Montgomery, a left-handed hitter in Kyle Teal. Projected starting 9, Clyde. I don't know if I'm there yet. We don't even have the roster filled out, but it does not include the 2 guys the White Sox just got in this deal. Wayne, my hat goes off to fans chiming in. Chicago fans are sports educated, know our team's no bull in this podcast. You're damn right, Wayne. There's no bull at all. Tucker on any team is a great move. Sounds like Heyman believes the Cubs could be in there at the end. Terry, prospects are like lotto tickets. The more of them you have, the more likely one's going to hit. Yeah, look, you're going to have, like the Cubs have 7 in the top 100 right now. I made a bet with Cap. I'm like, I guarantee you 2 or 3 of those guys are. It's just the way it plays. The White Sox, unfortunately, had basically none of them hit. I mean, they had little flashes of a few, but it flopped out. The 16 Cubs might be the best example of a bunch of guys coming up and knocking it out of the park. As far as the rebuild for the White Sox goes, what else do you think Getz will do? Well, they still have to add players to their 40-man, fill out that roster. But you're going to see a very young, very cheap team. They're going to cut payroll. They're going to develop. And there's going to be more fringe-like guys like the Nicky Lopez, Paul DeYoung types that joined this team. Chris Getz said they were looking for a right fielder, not the one they just acquired from the Red Sox, but a guy who actually can play there this year. Antonio, what's up, bro? Hope you appreciate you, man. Same to you, man. Same to you. When can we expect a new White Sox Talk pod? I have literally been texting Brian Anderson during this, and it looks like we'll be doing one after this. So there will be a podcast about the White Sox trading our guy, Garrett Crochet. Letting it digest, I think they had a good call. Yeah, I mean, Jess, there she is. Prospects are great, but you need the veteran leadership coaches and players to mentor them. Yeah, you need the White Sox have not been a good developmental organization. So let's see what happens. Concrete Chicago White Sox fan will take my girlfriend and her kids to Comiskey. Get it done, Clyde. I like it. All right, so Quentin, I've said they won't be competitive until at least 2027. And I will stand by that even now that the Garrett Crochet deal is done. The White Sox farm system is going to take a major leap forward. Okay. The White Sox now have, just so we're on the same page, they are going to, I think they have 6 top 100s. So the White Sox now have, ready? The 16th best prospect in baseball, Noah Schultz. They have the 25th best 16 and 25. Kyle Teal is 25. They have the 30th best prospect, Hagen Smith. That's 3 of the top 30. They have the 37th best prospect. That's Colson Montgomery. They have the 54th best prospect. That's Braden Montgomery. And they have the 59th best prospect. That's Edgar Carroll. They have 6 of the top 59. 6 of the top 59 in all of baseball. So they have 6 top 100 prospects. That, my friends, is what it's. Now we're getting it done. Now we're getting it done. All right, we got stuff to do here. Wow, this was awesome. It was awesome to come on the air and find out that, bam, the biggest trade of the winter meetings we were waiting to happen happened. And one of my guys, Justin, was waiting in the waiting room, ready to break the news that the White Sox have traded Garrett Crochet to the Boston Red Sox for 4 prospects, 2 of the top 54. And we have a podcast to do. Before I do that, and Justin, appreciate you, man. It's good to have these and the fam. One more thing real quick. Thank you to those who came up to me yesterday and introduced yourself. And we had a good time out there last night. And, Pablo, Dave, you guys coming up to me meant a lot. Appreciate you. And keep on coming out. Like if we're out by your neck of the woods, make sure you guys come out. Come always say hi. We will definitely. We'd love to. Hey, me and Cap like to give back as much as possible, because without you guys, we ain't got nothing. I will slide this in. I know it might be time to fade Guff here because I got burned by Tennessee, who was up 18, 19 points late in the game. They let Miami go on a late 8-0 run. Miami backdoors it, kind of. I had Tennessee minus 14.5. Tennessee wins by 13. A real stinger. I was trying to get back to 3-1. I'm going with Jalen Brunson over 2.5 threes tonight. He's done it in 6 of his last 7 games. He's been on fire. He's been shooting the ball at a 43% clip from beyond the arc. So I'm going to keep writing it. That's the ebbs and flows of sports gambling, folks. We're 2-4-1. We'll get back on it. Maybe we'll get to a point where everybody will fade me. That'll be fun too. We'll turn that into a segment as well. Once again, to recap, the White Sox trade Garrett Crochet to the Boston Red Sox. Me and Brian Anderson will have a podcast on this topic as we wrap up the winter meetings with maybe the second biggest news. It starts with Juan Soto being signed. It ends with Garrett Crochet. I'm Ryan McGuffey. This has been the Recap Lunch Hour. We'll be here tomorrow. A lot going on. Phones blowing up. That's what we expect. That's when news breaks. We're here for you on the recap. I will see you guys tomorrow.